So you want to practice flying and you don't know how to make that happen. So first thing is we're going to need to get you in armor, standing on an airfield as a person with Game Master privileges, so as Zeus. Once we've done that, then there'll be a bit more involved video about how to actually give yourself planes and set them up and stuff. But first we're going to cover how do you get into a game as a Game Master. Now, if you're using the multiplayer server, the TACD server, that's very straightforward. You join the server and you choose the character Gunnery Sergeant Sodom, because that guy has Zeus privileges built in. If you don't have the server up, then you can set one up on your own computer, and that's what we're going to show here. The process is very similar. So we're going to use the single player mission editor. So we'll click on single player, we'll click on editor. We have to choose a map. We probably want to choose Camlo Nam because that's the map we use most of the time and it's got some good airfields on it. So Camlo Nam, continue. Armour will take its sweet time loading a map because that's what Armour does. But boom, it's dropped us into the map in a random location, which is not terribly helpful. We can move around this location by right-clicking and sweeping, or holding the right mouse button and sweeping the mouse to look left and right. And we can use the WASD keys to move our viewpoint around. We're not attached to anyone. We're just floating in space. So we're in the wrong place. That's easy to fix. We open the map by hitting the M key. Zoom out just like the normal map, and we probably want to move down to the southeast corner and set ourselves up at Pleiku Air Base, which is the biggest airbase on the map. So if we zoom in to the end of the runway, if you just middle mouse button click once, you'll see the camera viewpoint icon moves to there, and if we hit M to close the map, then great, we are at Pleiku, and again we can move the camera around. So we could, at this point, bring in planes. In fact, I will show you really quickly how we do that. If you find a plane in this menu on the right hand side, say we're looking under US Unsung, that's where we get a lot of our planes from, Air, US Air Force, A7D Corsair, we can click and then click on the map and it appears. You can see on the left hand side we've got a Corsair 2 and we've got a pilot. So that has a pilot in it. We can click on the pilot and hit delete to delete it. Or we could uncheck the place vehicles with crew option here and drag it in and it will appear empty without a crew. Although it will have changed into a Skyraider because I clicked on the wrong thing. So Corsair 2 in. We can click and drag to move that around. Once it's selected, we can hold down Shift and then click and drag, and we can spin it on the spot. So that's how we put planes in the editor. That's not important because we can put planes in when we are Zeus as the Game Master, but we will need a person to be. So if we go into, probably MacV is the best place to go, that's where the Prairie Fire mod stuff lives, and we look for Men US Air Force, pilot, that's a good bet. And we just click on him and then we click somewhere to insert a pilot. Cool, so we'll be him in a minute. And then at the top, if we go from objects, there's one more important thing that we need to put in, which is the Zeus module to tell the game to make someone a Games Master. So it's not an object, it's not a group, it's not a trigger or a waypoint, it's a system. So click on Systems, scroll down to Zeus, open up Zeus, and select Game Master. Or don't scroll all the way down to Zeus, and just in the search bar at the top, type Game Master. Click on that, and then click anywhere in the world, and that module will appear. It doesn't matter where it is. Now, if we were doing a multiplayer game, we'd have to do finicky stuff like tying it to a particular player character, but we're in the single player editor, so it's just going to assume that we will be the curator. Okay, so with that set up, we might have some planes already in, but we might not. Click on the pilot in your editor, right click and say play as the character, and then it will start loading the mission and it will drop you into the airbase.